Today, I want to talk about something that goes against the grain of what many of us are taught. Society often encourages us to share everything, our goals, our achievements, and even our strategies. But I'm here to advocate for the power of silence, for the art of discretion. The principle I want to share is this: never tell people what you do. Now, before you think I'm promoting secrecy or isolation, let me clarify. This isn't about hiding or being antisocial. It's about embracing wisdom, protecting your energy, and letting your actions speak louder than your words. One of the most valuable resources you have is your energy, both mental and emotional. Energy is what fuels your focus, creativity, and resilience, and it's the driving force behind the work you do. But here's the catch: your energy is not infinite. It needs to be carefully managed and protected, especially from outside influences that can drain or disrupt it. When you openly share your plans, ideas, or projects, you expose them to the scrutiny and opinions of others. Some of these opinions may be well intentioned, while others might be dismissive, critical, or even outright negative. Regardless of their intent, these external inputs can weigh on your mind and heart, causing self doubt or hesitation. You might find yourself second guessing your decisions or feeling the need to justify your actions, which only diverts energy away from what truly matters: execution. For instance, imagine you've decided to start a business. You share your plans with a friend, and they respond with, "Are you sure that's a good idea? It's risky, and most businesses fail even if you've done your homework and are confident in your plan." Their skepticism can plant seeds of doubt. You might begin to overanalyze, question your abilities, or even lose momentum. Another aspect of energy protection is being mindful of envy or jealousy. Not everyone will celebrate your ambitions. Some people may project their insecurities onto you, trying to discourage you from pursuing what they never had the courage to chase themselves. By keeping your plans to yourself, you shield them from the negativity of those who might feel threatened by your potential. Silence also helps you maintain emotional equilibrium. When you don't share every detail, you don't have to deal with the emotional roller coaster of external reactions. You remain in control of your narrative and your emotions, focusing on the process rather than the opinions of others. Ultimately, protecting your energy means creating a buffer between your internal drive and the external world. It's about guarding the precious mental and emotional resources that propel you forward. Remember, your energy is sacred and not everyone deserves access to it. By being intentional about what you share and with whom, you preserve the strength and focus needed to turn your plans into reality. In today's world, where everyone seems eager to announce their every move on social media or in conversations, there is profound power in letting your results do the talking. Actions, after all, carry far more weight than words ever could. When you focus on delivering results instead of broadcasting your intentions, you command respect and admiration through substance rather than promises. Imagine a seed planted in the soil. It doesn't shout to the world, "Look at me, I'm growing." Instead, it quietly absorbs nutrients, takes in sunlight, and anchors itself deep in the earth. Then, one day, it breaks through the surface as a strong, healthy plant. That's how your efforts should be: rooted in action and blossoming into results that speak for themselves. There's a practical reason why letting results speak is more effective than talking about what you're doing. When you constantly share your plans, you set up expectations, both in your mind and in others. If for some reason you don't achieve what you announced, it can lead to disappointment, embarrassment, or even a loss of credibility. On the other hand, when you remain silent about your efforts and focus solely on achieving your goals, the only thing people notice is the final product, and that's what truly matters. Take the example of innovators and trailblazers. Thomas Edison didn't parade around announcing each experiment that led to the invention of the light bulb. He stayed focused, worked tirelessly, and when he succeeded, the world was transformed. His results became his legacy. Similarly, great athletes often let their performance on the field do the talking rather than making grand claims beforehand. There's also a psychological benefit to this approach. When you let your results speak, you avoid the trap of premature validation. Talking about your goals can sometimes give you a false sense of accomplishment, as praise or encouragement from others can feel like a reward. But when you stay silent and wait for your work to shine, the satisfaction is genuine and earned. Ultimately, results are undeniable. They carry a clarity and truth that words cannot replicate. So instead of spending time and energy telling people what you're going to do, pour that energy into doing it. Let your achievements be the proof, and trust that the impact of your results will speak louder than any words ever could. One of the most subtle but dangerous traps people often fall into when sharing their goals is the urge for premature validation. It's a natural human inclination when we talk about our plans, ideas, or dreams. We often seek approval, encouragement, or praise from others. While validation can feel good in the moment, it can have unintended consequences, especially when it comes to motivation and execution. On the other hand, criticism or doubt can be equally damaging, leading to self-doubt and confusion. If someone questions your plan or tells you it's not going to work, their skepticism might make you question your own ability, even if you've thought things through and are prepared to move forward. Instead of focusing on the task at hand, you might waste precious time and energy trying to prove them wrong or recalibrating your approach. When you keep your goals to yourself, you protect your internal motivation. You allow yourself to work without the influence of external opinions, positive or negative. You remain focused on the process rather than the validation that comes from others. Instead of relying on outside feedback to fuel your progress, you learn to depend on your own determination and conviction. Think about inventors, artists, or entrepreneurs. Many of the world's most successful people work quietly on their ideas, often without telling anyone. They didn't need others to validate their vision. They believed in themselves and kept moving forward regardless of the outside noise. It was their commitment to action that led to success, not the applause they received beforehand. By waiting until your efforts produce results, you ensure that any praise or validation you receive is earned through hard work. This not only boosts your confidence, but also reinforces the satisfaction that comes from achieving something meaningful. Premature validation can distort your journey, but staying focused on your goals and allowing your results to speak for themselves leads to a more authentic, fulfilling sense of accomplishment. Not everyone will celebrate your success, and that's an unfortunate reality of life. When you openly share your plans, goals, or ideas, you may unintentionally invite negativity, criticism, or even active sabotage. Some of these reactions may stem from jealousy, competition, or a lack of understanding. By keeping your work private, you protect it and yourself from those who might undermine or derail your progress. Let's face it, not everyone has your best interests at heart. Some people feel threatened by the success of others. When they hear about your ambitions, it might trigger their insecurities, leading them to discourage or discredit you. They might say things like, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Or, "I don't think you're ready for that." These subtle doubts can chip away at your confidence, even if you started with a strong sense of direction. Even worse, some people might actively work against you. Imagine sharing a business idea with someone, only to find out later that they've implemented it themselves. Stories like this are more common than we realize, especially in competitive environments. By keeping your plans under wraps, you protect your intellectual property, your strategies, and your hard work from falling into the wrong hands. The Bible offers a powerful lesson about this in the story of Joseph. When Joseph shared his dreams of greatness with his brothers, their jealousy led to betrayal. While Joseph's story ultimately ended in triumph, his early openness invited unnecessary hardship. It's a cautionary tale that reminds us to be discerning about what we share and with whom. Silence also gives you the freedom to work without distractions or interference. When your plans are private, you can focus entirely on executing them without the need to explain or defend your choices. It allows you to pivot, adjust, and improve without feeling like you're under a magnifying glass. This doesn't mean you should isolate yourself or distrust everyone around you. Instead, it's about discernment, knowing who has earned your trust and who hasn't. Share your progress with those who genuinely support and uplift you, but be cautious about broadcasting your plans to a wider audience. By minimizing sabotage, you create a safe space for your goals to grow. Protect your work as you would a delicate seedling, nurturing it in private until it's strong enough to withstand the elements and thrive in the open. Humility is one of the most underrated yet powerful traits a person can have. It reflects confidence without arrogance and strength without the need for constant validation. By choosing not to share every detail of what you do, you naturally cultivate humility. You show that your work speaks for itself and that you don't need to boast about your efforts to feel accomplished or valued. Talking excessively about what you do or what you plan to achieve can often come across as self-promotion, even if that's not your intention. While sharing successes can inspire others, there's a fine line between being inspirational and sounding boastful. Constantly highlighting your achievements can create the perception that you're more interested in seeking applause than in the integrity of the work itself. Maintaining humility means resisting the urge to broadcast your plans and instead focusing on quietly doing the work. There's an undeniable strength in humility. When you don't feel the need to tell everyone what you're working on, it shows that you're secure in your abilities. You don't need external validation to affirm your worth or your progress. This quiet confidence not only enhances your character but also earns the respect of those around you. People are naturally drawn to individuals who achieve great things without making a spectacle of themselves. Think about some of the most admired leaders and visionaries. Nelson Mandela, for instance, was a man of action who didn't seek to glorify himself. He focused on the mission of equality and justice for his people, allowing his actions and the transformative results of his leadership to define his legacy. His humility made his achievements even more impactful. Humility also creates space for growth and learning. When you're not preoccupied with promoting yourself, you're more open to feedback, collaboration, and improvement. It fosters a mindset of curiosity and adaptability, enabling you to refine your skills and achieve even greater results over time. Finally, humility serves as a protective layer against unnecessary pressure. When you keep your efforts private, you're not burdened by the expectations of others. You can work in peace, free from the fear of judgment or failure in the public eye. In a world that often rewards loudness and self-promotion, humility is a quiet yet powerful force. By staying humble and letting your work speak for itself, you not only achieve success but also inspire others through your integrity and grace. Talking about your goals might feel like you're making progress, but the truth is, words don't achieve results, actions do. Focusing on execution, rather than announcing what you're going to do, ensures that your energy and attention are directed toward what truly matters: completing the work. Execution is the bridge between intention and achievement, and it requires discipline, effort, and consistency. Focusing on execution means dedicating yourself to the process rather than the performance of talking about it. It's about channeling your energy into taking concrete steps, whether that's drafting a business plan, practicing a skill, or completing a project. Execution is where the real work happens, and it often takes place away from the spotlight. Consider the example of an athlete. Imagine someone training for a marathon. They could spend hours telling friends and family about their training schedule, the diet they're following, and the mileage they plan to cover. But none of that talk matters if they don't actually hit the pavement and run those miles. The marathon isn't won in conversation, it's won through the consistent effort of showing up and doing the work day after day. Execution also involves resilience and adaptability. When you're focused on doing the work, you're better prepared to face challenges and pivot when necessary. Instead of being distracted by external validation or criticism, you're fully engaged in solving problems and refining your approach. Moreover, focusing on execution builds credibility. People respect those who deliver results rather than those who just make promises. It's far more impactful to quietly achieve your goals and let the outcome speak for itself than to make bold declarations and fail to follow through. In the end, success is determined by what you do, not what you say. So commit to action. Put your head down, do the work, and let your accomplishments shine as a testament to your focus and determination. There's an undeniable allure in mystery. When people don't know exactly what you're up to, it piques their curiosity and keeps them intrigued. Cultivating mystery isn't about being secretive for the sake of secrecy, it's about creating space for your work to grow without unnecessary interference and leveraging curiosity as an asset. In a world where oversharing has become the norm, choosing to keep your plans to yourself can make you stand out. When you constantly share every detail of your goals, projects, or daily grind, you risk becoming predictable or losing your audience's interest. On the other hand, mystery keeps people guessing, and in doing so, it gives you a subtle power. People are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand. By remaining tight-lipped about your plans, you build intrigue and anticipation around what you're working on. Think about some of the most captivating individuals in history, figures like Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, or even modern innovators like Steve Jobs. These individuals weren't known for incessantly sharing their every move, they were known for delivering groundbreaking results that left people in awe. Their ability to maintain an air of mystery heightened the impact of their achievements. Furthermore, mystery fosters a sense of respect. When you're known as someone who produces remarkable results without announcing every step of the journey, people perceive you as someone with discipline, focus, and quiet confidence. You demonstrate that you're not seeking validation or applause, but are driven by your own standards and goals. Cultivating mystery doesn't mean you isolate yourself completely or withhold everything. It's about being intentional with what you share and when you share it. Allow your work to speak for itself and let the curiosity it generates elevate the perception of your accomplishments. In a noisy world, mystery is a breath of fresh air. It creates intrigue, protects your process, and amplifies the impact of your success. So hold back, stay focused, and let the power of mystery work in your favor. The act of sharing your plans can unintentionally invite distractions. When you tell others what you're working on, it may prompt questions, unsolicited advice, or even pressure to act a certain way. While some of this input may be valuable, it can easily divert your focus from the core task at hand. Instead of concentrating on the process, you might find yourself thinking about how others perceive your progress or defending your actions to justify your decisions. These distractions steal precious mental energy, pulling you away from the work you need to do. Self-confidence is the foundation of success. When you believe in your abilities and trust your judgment, you're far more likely to take risks, stay resilient in the face of challenges, and ultimately reach your goals. One of the most powerful ways to nurture and maintain self-confidence is to avoid constantly telling others what you're doing. The act of keeping your plans to yourself allows you to focus on building your confidence internally without relying on external approval or validation. When you openly share your goals, there's often an unspoken pressure to live up to the expectations set by others. Whether the response is positive or negative, it can influence your perception of your abilities. If people are supportive, you might feel compelled to meet their expectations, which can lead to unnecessary stress or fear of failure. If they are skeptical or critical, you might second-guess yourself, losing confidence in your choices or your potential. In both cases, your self-worth becomes linked to external feedback rather than your own internal belief in your ability to succeed. By keeping your plans private, you eliminate this external influence. You take ownership of your goals and your journey, knowing that your success or failure is entirely in your hands. This creates a sense of autonomy and control that is essential for cultivating true self-confidence. You begin to trust that you are capable of handling whatever challenges arise because you've built the strength and resilience to follow through without needing validation from others. Moreover, keeping your goals to yourself allows you to fully immerse yourself in the process, free from the fear of judgment or criticism. As you make progress and achieve small victories, you'll start to see firsthand how much you are capable of. This self-recognition is one of the most powerful confidence boosters. You no longer rely on others to tell you you're doing well, you can see for yourself that you're moving forward. Each step, no matter how small, is a testament to your ability to execute and persist. As you develop this internal confidence, you also become more resilient to setbacks. Knowing that your self-worth is not contingent on others' opinions means that you're more likely to bounce back from failures or challenges. You'll trust that you have what it takes to learn, adapt, and keep moving forward. When you share your plans prematurely, you open yourself up to outside opinions, whether they're supportive or critical. While support can feel encouraging, it might also shift your focus from action to celebration. On the flip side, criticism can slow you down, causing self-doubt or forcing you to defend your ideas before they've had a chance to take shape. Both reactions can break the rhythm you're trying to establish, making it harder to build the consistent habits that lead to success. Think of momentum like rolling a snowball down a hill. At first, it's small and fragile, requiring careful effort to keep it moving. As it gains speed and size, it becomes an unstoppable force. Early on, though, if someone interferes, perhaps by poking at it or questioning why you're making a snowball at all, it could easily fall apart. Similarly, when you keep your efforts private, you give yourself the time and space to build that snowball of momentum without unnecessary interruptions. Momentum thrives on small, consistent wins. Each small success reinforces your confidence and motivation, pushing you closer to your ultimate goal. When you work in silence, you allow yourself to celebrate these wins internally, which strengthens your commitment without the need for external validation. Over time, this silent progress compounds, creating a powerful force that's hard to stop. Consider the story of J.K. Rowling. When she was writing Harry Potter, she worked in near obscurity, struggling financially but staying focused. She didn't share her struggles or seek applause. While writing, she poured her energy into the work. By the time her manuscript was ready, the momentum she had built behind the scenes led to one of the most successful book series in history. Building momentum silently also reduces the pressure to perform. Without the weight of public expectations, you can focus entirely on the process and adjust your approach as needed. This freedom enables you to take risks, make mistakes, and learn all essential elements of sustained progress. In the end, silent momentum becomes visible only when the results are undeniable. Work quietly, build steadily, and let the force of your efforts speak louder than any words ever could. Focusing on execution rather than conversation enables you to stay grounded in your goals. The more you concentrate on the task at hand, the less susceptible you are to outside distractions and opinions. You're able to immerse yourself deeply in your work without the constant need for external validation. This level of concentration is what leads to breakthroughs and sustained progress. In contrast, constantly sharing your plans can result in mental fragmentation. When you talk about a goal, you might feel momentarily satisfied by the positive feedback or acknowledgement you receive. However, this satisfaction can trick you into thinking that you've already achieved something even though you haven't. This mental distraction can reduce the intensity of focus needed to reach your goals. Strengthening your focus also involves removing the temptation to look outward for guidance, praise, or confirmation. The more you can rely on your own instincts and internal motivation, the less likely you are to be swayed by the opinions of others. This autonomy allows you to chart your own course and make decisions based on what feels right for you, not based on what others think you should do. So, my friends, remember this: silence isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth and their direction. It's the discipline to focus on the work instead of the talk. Never telling people what you do doesn't mean you don't trust others. It means you trust yourself enough to know that your actions will speak for you. In the end, it's not about proving anything to anyone. It's about staying true to your vision and delivering excellence on your own terms. Thank you.